So come to the last case here, last particular case that we have. Just like a previous case number 5, whenever we have to find a particular integral for this is 1 upon okay, this is the formula 1 upon phi d of fx, and in that case we have e raised to ax into v. So exponential function into any other function, if that is a case occurs, it's better to use the exponential case where we take exponential function outside the operator by replacing, we replace pi, d by it is a d plus a. No one is giving the answer. Huh? D plus a of v. So you can clearly observe here, to get the pi, we have to replace d by d plus a, and we take an exponential outside. Now depending on the v function, suppose v is algebraic function, we convert this in the form of 1 upon 1 plus or minus p. Okay. If v is a trigonometric function, we replace that d square by minus a square, and in hyperbolic we replace that d square by plus a square. So that are the possibilities we have. Now next case, last case is similar to that only, which say x into v form. Whenever RHS, so whenever that RHS comes in this form, x into v form, we have, this is the formula for pi is 1 upon phi d of x into v. So whatever this formula is simplified here, or that is a shortcut formula we have, the benefit of this shortcut formula is we can take that x outside the operator. So what happens? It becomes x minus phi dash d upon phi of d into 1 upon phi d of v. So it's a little lengthy operator that we have to operate. That means, first of all, when we have to find out a pi for x into v form, first we'll use this formula, and in this formula we first operate this 1 upon phi d. We operate that 1 upon phi d on v, depending on v. Now v can be, again, yes, obviously, if as x is there, so v is never algebraic. V is either trigonometric, hyperbolic. If it is exponential, no need to use this form. Actually, if it is exponential, e raised to ax into x there, so that time it is better to use a case 5. Case 5 is the best. So in this case, v is only have the two options. V can be trigonometric or hyperbolic. So if it is a trigonometric, we replace d square by minus a square, and if it is hyperbolic, we replace d square by plus a square. So first we'll operate this 1 upon phi d, again we'll operate this inner 1 upon phi d, and later on we apply this numerator and we get the answer there. We'll see the examples, then this case has also become more clear. So I will come to the, yes, here is example. Now we the question is solve d square minus 1 of y is equal to x into sine 3x. Okay, the sine of 3x is the RHS, x into sine of 3x. So at least tell me the YC. Okay, I want YC calculation from you, complementary function.
Sir, C1 e to the power x plus C2 e to the power minus x.
Very good. Yes. So this is a good thing that now you can do it quickly in mind also, and you get these answers fast. So it is very simple. Step 1, we consider the auxiliary equation d square minus 1 equal to 0. As it is a d square minus 1 equal to 0, d square minus 1 equal to 0, the factors become d is equal to plus or minus 1, and yc will become, this yc will become c1 e raised to x plus c2 e raised to minus x. Yes, that's good. So you got yc quickly. But now the case 2, which is yp, for yp we say 1 upon phi d. In this case, phi of d is a d square minus 1 of x sine 3x. So I'll write in the form of phi d first, because this becomes simple for us to write a formula 1 upon phi d of x sine 3x. X sine 3x. Now the formula says it is x into v form. Important thing is observation again. So it is fitting in the case number 6, x into v. So the formula says it is x minus phi dash d upon phi of d into 1 upon phi d of v. Okay, of v. So in this case, v, yes, what is the v? V is a sine 3x. Can I write sine 3x directly? So let me replace here the values of phi d and phi dash d. So here is phi d. Phi d is a d square minus 1. D square minus 1 is a phi d. So I'll write it in the denominator as a d square minus 1. What about the numerator?
Sir.
2d. Yes, correct.
2D.
And outside again 1 upon phi d is there. So outside again d square minus 1. And that is a sine 3x. So can you tell me what should be the value of this?
Sir, the conversion of x upon phi d to x minus phi dash d by phi d into 1 by phi d
It
is
is
a
a
formula
formula.
which we have to remember.
Yes, you have to remember. Correct. We are not going in the proof of which methods there. So just you remember these shortcut formulas and use it. Use it. Okay. So proof it will take a time there. Okay, and the proof is not part of the syllabus again, because at the end we have to learn the techniques to solve this differential equation. And later on there are many applications, but that is not again a part of our syllabus, like application of these differential equation in the number of things are there, like population growth. Not only that, bacteria growth. Okay, so that we can study. We can make a mathematical model for bacteria growth also. Okay, number of things are there. Not only growth, there are mechanical applications and many other applications there. But our syllabus right now is only mathematical techniques that you have to learn. Okay, only these mathematical techniques you have to learn to solve the LDE here. So again, this formula is without proof. Already I discussed. So just you have to remember this formula. That is correct. So what is the way to get how to operate this 1 upon phi d on sine 3x? What is the
Sine 3x upon 8.
d square by, we replace d
9 square
square
minus 7 it will be, sir. 9 square minus 9.
d square by minus 9. Okay, we replace d square by minus 9 because it's a trigonometry.
Okay, sir. Okay.
D square by minus 9. So if you replace d square by minus 9, you'll observe whenever constant term comes, remember you can replace that d square by minus 9 here also and there also, because it is 1 upon phi d. You have to later on it is operate only. So I'll replace here minus 9 minus 1 and 1 upon minus 9 minus 1 of sine 3x. So just I replace d square by minus 9, d square by minus 9. Now just you have to take term by term multiplication, x into this term. So it is actually minus 1 by 10. So I'll say minus x by 10 sine 3x. That about first term. This x is multiplied to this one. Now this term you have to multiply here. So this is a minus minus plus 1 by 10, but again minus 10 is there. So it is minus 1 by 100, is it? But there is 2 also. 2 is also there. So I will write 2 as it is. Okay, no issue. And what about the d of sine 3x? What is the meaning? D of sine 3x.
Cos 3 cos 3x.
Yes, correct.
3 cos
It is a 3 into cos of 3x. That's one. This is the just you have tried and simplified yp here, which is a minus x by 10 sine 3x, and you'll observe this is a 50 minus 3 by 50 minus 3 by 50 cos 3x, and that about yp. That is the end of the question. So what is the key point here, or the key step here? This one. To handle the case x into v, we are using this formula. This formula you have to remember. That's one. So minus x by 10 sine 3x minus 3 by 50 cos 3x. That is a complete solution. That is yp only, and yc plus yp will be the general solution or a complete solution. Yes, correct, Asif. Yes, we should write that yc plus yp as a complete solution at the end. That is also important. If you forget to write a complete solution, sometimes 1 mark is deducted. Okay, so that you should remember. Out of 5, you will get only 4 marks there. So once you complete, tell me. We'll move to the next question then.
Done, sir.
Done. Very good. Okay. Okay. So start it now. Start a calculation, and you should tell me about YC.
Sir, C1 plus x C2 under bracket e to the power x.
Very good, nice. So obviously it is a d minus 1 bracket square. So 1 is a repeated root, 1 is a repeated root, and we get a yc there. So I will show you that yc here. So you will observe here is a yc. So yc is a d minus 1 bracket square. So 1 is a repeated root, 1 is a repeated root. So c1 plus c2x e raised to x, that is yc. If someone writes c1x plus c2, c1x plus c2 e raised to x, that is also correct. Okay. So you should multiply x to either c1 or c2. It is not important. So c1 and c2 just notations we are using for a constant. So that about yc. If any doubt is there in yc, you can ask. You can start for yp. So how many methods you should use in the RHS now? Yes.
Two methods.
One. So there is x e raised to x sin x. So it may by observing you may think that we have to use a two method, but it depends on what is the simplified phi d, that also matters there. So which case you are going to apply first, x into v or e raised to x into v? Which one? X into v or e raised to x into v? Which should be used?
X into v first, sir. After that,
Yes, there is no actually a preference to any of the method, but means it is not hard and fast rule, but generally it is better to take exponential first outside. Okay, it is better we should take exponential outside. Yes, correct. First we should take e raised to x outside by replacing d by d plus 1. It gives us a simplified phi d there. You will come to know, because when you replace d by d plus 1 and d minus 1 is already these factors there, and when you replace d by d plus 1, the question becomes really simple. You will come to know there is no need to use then x into v also. Okay, but if someone start with x into v first and then he is going to use that, because even though you use x into v, it become too complicated. It become too complicated. You will come to know that. So better first apply e raised to x into v always, and then x into v. I hope you are getting. So complete and tell me the answer. Yes, anyone completed? Anyone completed YP? Can you tell the final answer? Yes, final answer. No one. No one is able to do the calculation. Is anyone completing here, doing a calculation? Okay. The first one, we should take e raised to x outside first or x. Obviously, e raised to x, I told, because you cannot take x first outside. To take x outside, it's a very complicated formula. So x into v
Sir,
formula.
e raised to x,
Huh?
e raised to x under bracket minus x sin x plus cos x.
Okay, so it's a lengthy. That's one. Okay, we'll check. We'll check. Just 1 minute. So here is a solution. You will observe 1 upon phi d of fx is x. First of all, e raised to x into v is treated. E raised to x is written outside. You will observe e raised to x is written outside here. I highlight otherwise. So you'll observe this e raised to x is there, and that is written outside now. And we replace d by d plus 1. We replace d by d plus 1. So as we replace d by d plus 1 minus 1 get cancelled, it's just left d square 1 upon d square. Now there are two ways. One of the way, yes, this formula. The other way, yes, 2 times integration of x sin x. 2 times integration of x sin x. Product rule, you have to use it by parts and you have to complete. So that's lengthy. I used here this formula x minus phi dash d upon phi d into 1 upon phi d of sin x. What's the method says? The method says when the trigonometry left, we should replace d square by minus 1. This d square by minus 1. So this d square is replaced by minus 1 and this also replaced by minus 1. Actually, in this case, it is simplified. So only this is replaced. So it comes 2 by d. It's a 2 by d. Okay, so 2d upon d square is 2 by d only. And this is a d square is replaced by minus 1 here. And now x minus 2 by d of sin x is left. So x sin x minus 2 into 1 by d means integration of sin x is that is 2 cos x. I think whatever the answer, I think who told Akash is that? So that's correct one.
I told sir. Ankur.
Ankur told.
Okay, Ankur completed. Okay, no issue. So Ankur, yes, your answer is correct. Good. So, but there is minus sign is there. So you should remember minus e raised to x, x sin x plus 2 cos x. That about yp. If any doubt is here, you can ask. If you have doubt, multiple ways are there. If someone is not interested to use this formula, that's okay. What he can do, he can 2 times integrate. Okay, it's 2 times integration of x sin x that we have to do it. By product rule, not product, by parts. Sorry. Okay, I think who is asking this doubt? Asif is asking, can we replace d square by minus 1 in both? Yes, you can replace. You can replace here d square by minus 1, this d square by minus 1, and then you take derivative of sin x. You are going to get same answer. Is that Asif? Because
Okay,
d is a
sir.
derivative operator and 1 by d is integral operator. So go by any of the way. You can replace both d square, both d square by minus 1. Not a problem. Clear, Asif?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So whether all of you completed this, can we move to the next question then? So that is out of box question. Yes, there is a cat. Okay, means there are two cats. Generally, they are, okay. So forget it. Okay, completed. Are you completed?
Yes, sir. Done, sir.
Okay, good. Question number 3. Do it now. D square minus 4 of y is equal to x sine hyperbolic x. X into sine hyperbolic x. Okay, good. Plus or minus 2 are the factor. So the YC will be C1 e raised to 2x plus C2 e raised to minus 2x. Correct. I think Dilshad is given the answer. Yes, Dilshad, yes, you are correct. Yes. Asif, yes, that is the CF, correct. C1 e raised to 2x plus C2. You are written C1 both the place, no issue. C1 e raised to 2x plus C2 e raised to minus
By
2.
mistake.
Okay, no issue. Okay, so that about the CF, complementary function. Now complete that YP, particular integral, PR. So it is straightforward, x into v only. There is no exponential term. So x into v form only.
Sir, particular integration will be minus x by 3 sine hyperbolic x minus 2 by 9 cos hyperbolic x.
Very good, yes. Very good. Yeah. Just 1 minute. I'll switch off the video now. I'll keep participant. Whether Aryan given this answer? Okay, so it is x into v form. So okay, Ankur again. Okay, Ankur given. Yeah. So both the answers. Okay, good. So this is a good thing. Actually, you are completing within a time, because they are not so difficult question. It's not so difficult. Just that idea should click that which form or which formula that you have to use it. Whether it fits in x into v form, e raised to x into v form, or it is just algebraic trigonometric exponential function. So depending on that, we are writing that yp. So you'll observe this is 1 upon phi d of x into v, so that we have. So just here this d square minus 4 is there, that is a phi d. So x minus phi dash d upon phi d into 1 upon phi d of sine hyperbolic. This is the formula, just a formula. Where phi d is a d square minus 4, and that is a derivative, it's in the numerator is a 2d, and we replace d square by plus 1. This is the important thing again, d square by plus 1. Here some of the students make a mistake. They sometimes in hurry and replace d square by minus 1 in hyperbolic, and in circular they do reverse, few of the students. But yes, d square by plus a square, so we should replace d square by just 1. So both the place you can replace d square by 1, and just a derivative of sine hyperbolic x is a cos hyperbolic x, and that's the answer. So this minus 1 by 3 into x sine hyperbolic x plus 2 by 3 cos hyperbolic x. Yes, Asif, yes, you are correct. You are taken 1 by minus 1 by 3 inside. So that is also correct. Any doubt? Is there any doubt? No. No doubt. Okay. Okay. So that about our case number 6. Now let me move to the case 7 here. Okay. So case 7. Already I told that is a last method. Case 6 is a last method, but it is not like that. That case 6 is a last method for different types of a function. Here we have a case 7, which is known as a method of undetermined coefficient. Actually, not a single question asked in last 5 years on this method. The reason is it is a alternative method. It is an alternative method that we have for case 1 to 6. Okay. So even though if you are not able to solve the problem by case 1 to 6, you can solve all the problems of that by case number 7. So case 7 is a general formula or general method for getting a PI of any type of the function. But what is the drawback? The drawback is sometimes this method becomes so very complicated. Okay. So because of that, we always prefer a shortcut methods. Okay. Whatever the shortcut methods we learned from case number 1 to the case 6, generally we prefer that because the calculation becomes simple in a shortcut method, and in this general method, that is a case 7, so in some of the cases the calculation becomes very complicated. Okay. So how this method works? Actually, there is no formula. Just we have to first find out YC. Okay, first find out YC. Now YC will tell us. The YC will tell us about whether when we replace d by a or d square by minus a square. Okay, when we replace d by a or d square by minus a square, then it is coming 0 or not. If it is coming 0, then we have to multiply by x. Okay, if we have to multiply by x, if it is a simple root, and if it is a repeated root, we have to multiply by x square. In general, if you observe this, it looks very complicated. It will look very complicated. When we see the example, then only it becomes more clear. So depending on the RHS, depending on this RHS, we have to select the PI, and then we have to find out the constants involved in that PI. So for example, number of ways are writing, we can write it this, different ways are there. Total 8 cases are there. As if there are total 8 cases, so out of that it is a second last case, but case 7 and 8 are totally different. Case 7, already I told, none of the question asked on the case 7 in last 5 years. Okay, because mainly the shortcut method works. When the numerical comes in exam, you have a choice only, that you can solve the given problem by case 1 to 6 or case number 7. So that is your choice. So because of that, even though I am saying not a question asked on this, you can do the question by this method also. So how many classes are there? Means I am not getting the question. How many classes we require for this topic? This topic hardly we require 3 to 4 hours now, so that we will finish the unit number 3 here. Okay. So just a minute. Am I able to write it? No. Suppose the RHS is e raised to ax. RHS is exponential function e raised to ax. Okay, and we have to find out its a PI. Suppose d is equal to a is a root. D is equal to a is a root of auxiliary equation. This a. D is equal to a is a root of auxiliary equation. Then in that case, your trial PI will be x C1, or I'm saying instead of C1, because we take C1, C2, these constants that we take in CF, so I will say x into constant a into e raised to ax. So if I do like this, this is my trial PI, where the value of a we have to compute. Now when we use this PI, the first of all, e raised to ax is in the RHS. We have to find out the pi of e raised to ax, and a is a root. A is a root of the auxiliary equation. Then only x is there. If a is not a root, suppose a is not a root, then the trial pi will be simply a into e raised to ax. This one. This will be the trial pi provided a is not a root. If a is a simple root, then we use this. Suppose a is a repeated root. Suppose a is a repeated root of a auxiliary equation, then what should be the trial? We should say x square into a e raised to x, x square into a raised to x. So indirectly, just think first of all by auxiliary equation only. If some of the a is that becomes a root, so obviously we should multiply by x to the yp there, and that x you have to take as a trial here. So let I show you the question, then it becomes more clear. I know this theory is very complicated. This is very complicated, but yes, for trigonometry, whenever there is a sine x or cos x on the RHS, the corresponding sin x or cos x is on the RHS, the corresponding trial pi will be capital A times sin x plus capital B times cos x. Okay, we'll come to that also. So the question is on the screen. Solve d square plus 1 of y is equal to 2x square plus 3 e raised to minus x. Solve d square plus 1 of y is equal to 2x square plus 3 e raised to minus x. First, at least calculate yc. Calculate yc for this question. Calculate a complementary function of this question and tell me the answer. Yes, anyone? What about a complementary function? CF.
C1 cos x, C2 sin x.
Very good. Yes, C1 cos x plus C2 sin x. So that about YC. So the YC is not new. Already we discussed. This part is, yes, it is common everywhere. That is C1 cos x plus C2 sin x. Now RHS is a 2x square and RHS is a 3 e raised to minus x. Actually, if we have to find out YP for this, we find out YP for algebraic separately, that is YP1, and we find out YP2 as particular integral of exponential type separately. Okay, by our shortcut method. But suppose this question right now we have to do it. We have to do it for by method of undetermined coefficient. If we have to use that method of undetermined coefficient, we have to assume the trial solution there. Just 1 minute. Hello. Yes. Madam Vijay. Okay. If we have to find out the solution by undetermined coefficient, the most important step is a trial solution. Is a trial YP. This trial YP is a very important thing that we have to select, and this YP generally we select depending on that YC. Now YC itself tell us whether this minus 1 is a root or not there. Is that minus 1 is a root of auxiliary equation? Yes or no? Is minus 1 is a root of auxiliary? No, no?
No, sir.
It's not, because plus or minus I is the root. Minus 1 is not root. So it is a simple YP we have to select. So it's YP corresponding to this exponential term will be then A times e raised to minus x only. Okay. This A only we have to find out. This capital A. Suppose minus 1 was a root. Suppose minus 1 was a root here in auxiliary equation. That time we take capital A into x into e raised to minus x. Capital A x into e raised to minus x should be the YP. Now, what about YP to select for this quadratic term? So whenever quadratic term appears, the quadratic equation will be the corresponding trial yp. So I have to already I taken a here, a constant here, so I will take b x square plus cx plus d. So this one is our trial yp, in which our aim is to get the values of a, b, c, d. It is exactly similar to like a partial fraction. In partial fraction, we write a upon first linear factor plus b upon second plus c, like that, and we find out that abc is there. So exactly same way we have to find out these actually that their method is different in partial fraction. Here we have different method to get abcd, but selection of this trial yp is important. This is important. Once you get this trial yp, abcd you can find out very easily. Is it clear how I written that yp, trial yp? Is that clear? You can write in reverse way also. Suppose someone is writing like this. Suppose someone is writing yp like this. Yp is equal to ax square plus bx plus c plus d into e raised to minus x. That is also same. Okay, so you can write for exponential first or exponential last. It doesn't matter there. Can anyone tell me, suppose instead of 2x square only x is there, instead of 2x square only x is there, so what should be a trial yp?
Cx plus d.
Very good, cx plus d. Good. Yes, if only x is there, the corresponding trial yp will be cx plus d. Suppose x cube is there, then we take ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. Okay, like that. Suppose x cube is there, so that way. For exponential, it is very simple. If is in exponential case, if e raised to ax is there and a is a root, this a is a root of auxiliary equation, this equation, then we have to write x ax into e raised to x. If it is not a root, just write a e raised to x only. Okay, that way. So that is the case. In trigonometry, little difficulty is there because that root is d only and we have to check for d square, but yes, we can find out. Just for trigonometry we take trial, we'll do one example of that also. We'll come to that later on. So let I show you a solution now, how that abcds are calculated. So here is a complete solution, but in that complete solution you will first हेलो गेट नंबर 3 पे रखो. Okay, so here is a yp. So see, the trial yp is written here. Can you get this trial yp? Is there any doubt? This is important only. This is a very important. Are you getting why I am written first bracket as a c1x square plus c2x plus c3? Because it is a trial yp for quadratic term. Okay. Then for this term I written c4. I am using the same constant c1 c4. It doesn't matter because here we have to find out the values of c1 to c4. If you have the problem, if you have confusion with this c1 and that c1, you can write in abcd or you can write it any other constants. Okay, alpha, beta, gamma, delta, that way also. Okay. Now to get these constants c1, c2, c3 and c4, we have to replace that yp in this given differential equation only. This is the equation. Just replace this y by yp. Replace that y by yp. So d square plus 1 of y, d square plus 1 of y is equal to this. This is the given equation. So just to replace that yp here. And now second derivative of this bracket you have to write it. This first bracket is the second derivative, and that is plus 1 as it is. Then equal terms collected together, terms of x square terms together, terms of x terms together, constant written together, and exponential. And then we have to compare the coefficient. Just we have to compare the coefficient. Comparing the coefficient of x square, we get c1 equal to 2. We get a c1 equal to 2. Comparing the coefficient of x, there is no term in this side for x, so c2 should be 0. There is no terms for constant, there is no term of a constant on that side, So C3 plus 2C1 also 0. C3 plus 2C1 is a 0 because here is a constant term, but this side there is no constant term. And lastly, the comparing the coefficient of e raised to minus x, comparing the coefficient of e raised to minus x, 2C4 should be 3. Now solve this, you get all C1, C2, C3, C4 and replace this C1, C2, C3, C4 in this equation. We get a YP. So remember, you will get exactly same answer by a shortcut method also. Don't think like I use undetermined coefficient and I am getting a different answer than the shortcut method. So use any of the method, this final answer is the same. Your YP will be the same. Okay. Any doubt here? Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
No doubt. Okay. So so that's for today. We'll take a few more questions on this in the next session. Okay. There are 2-3 questions. We'll take it in the next session there.